We are in the new golden age of gaming, and I feel like a lot of gamers have unfortunately forgotten that not every single game that releases needs to be a masterpiece. I would say that currently the amount of fantastic video games that we have been receiving is so overwhelmingly large that this is one of the greatest periods in video game history. Yet, a lot of gamers have somehow found it in their hearts to completely write off games that are just good. And I want to remind everyone that a lot of your favorite games historically have just been good. Not every game needs to compete in that Game of the Year race. It feels like people don't understand the true nature of the rating scale. If they don't see an 8, a 9, or a 10, it seems like they believe that the game is just complete garbage, which just isn't true. So let's take a look historically at some of the best games in gaming history that weren't perfect games, that weren't Game of the Year material, that were just okay games, but we love them nonetheless. If you look back to the Xbox 360, PS3 era, some of these games that we fell in love with today would be nowhere near Game of the Year contention. Games like LA Noire or Deus Ex Human Revolution or Dead Island, just to name a few, and we can go even further down the list. Your Spider-Man Web of Shadows, your Prototype, your Splinter Cell, Alice Madness Returns, Ninja Gaiden 2, the Skate games, the Fable games. All of these games I just listed, if they were transported today and released with all of the technical expertise of developers today, would still be games that would just only reach up to an 8 out of 10. I say all this to say I've seen games like South of Midnight and Avowed, Hellblade, Assassin's Creed Shadows, all of the Horizons game, hell, even Insomniac's Spider-Man 2. These games have been lambasted as bad games, but they're good games. Just good, not excellent, not fantastic, not breathtaking, not genre defining, but good games. I say all this to say, for the health of the gaming industry as a whole, it would serve us all better to support these smaller games that are just okay and or good, and not consistently look for that next perfect game. And I see it all the time where we have a shift in the industry where there's a genre defining game that everyone holds all the other games to that standard, and it really messes things up because it skews people's perception. It happened the first time with the release of Breath of the Wild. Every other RPG release at that time was held to the standard of Breath of the Wild. If you weren't allowing your player to have the same amount of exploration or the same amount of creativity with the environment, people were saying that, oh, well, it's no Breath of the Wild, it's not really all that good, which isn't true. Not everything has to be as good as the other thing. And I see that now with Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is genuinely, potentially, the greatest role-playing game of all time. But people are looking at other role-playing games and saying, well, you don't have all the same options that you had in Baldur's Gate 3. I can't customize the story in the same way that I could in Baldur's Gate 3. And it's like, yeah, sure, you can't do that. But should you be able to in every single video game? Should every single video game be exactly like Baldur's Gate 3? Should it be that great? Should there be 500,000 Elden Rings? You see how many Souls-like we've gotten ever since Elden Ring came out and was extremely popular. Should every game be that moving forward? No, it shouldn't. We should continue to support the industry when they do things that aren't the greatest of all time, so that the industry can continue to be healthy overall, and developers can continue to get work, and voice actors can continue to get work, and script writers can continue to get work, and every position and every aspect in all of gaming can continue to thrive and survive for this industry that we love. The core point that I'm trying to reach is we're at such a pivotal point in the gaming industry where There are such great games coming out and such passionate creators behind these games that unfortunately are falling to the wayside because everyone is looking for that next big thing. And it could be due to the fact that time is such a expensive commodity for you to invest in a potentially not spectacular experience. But I promise you, if you look a little bit further, there are so many great experiences for you to have. And I also understand the burden of the financial commitment in investing in what a lot of the times is a full $70 purchase. But the good thing about modern gaming are the options that you have with certain subscriptions that give you access to a lot of games for a lower amount per month. The PlayStation Now service has a lot of their older games in there and sometimes a couple new titles. Xbox Game Pass has brand new titles dropping constantly, day one on Game Pass, ready to play. So at least those options are present to give a chance to all of these creators. I want you to remember games like Enslaved, Odyssey to the West, or Sleeping Dogs, or Sunset Overdrive. A lot of these games that may have a special place in your heart, but weren't those critically acclaimed, you must play titles back in the day. And think about how much fun you had with those. And think about that next time you see an interesting title coming out that you may not think is going to be spectacular, but could end up being that same kind of hidden gem that those games were. Just give these games a chance, because at the end of the day, not every game needs to be a masterpiece. In closing, I'm not saying you should support a bad game. If the game is genuinely bad, don't support it. But we know when a game is bad. There are games that are just okay that deserve support, and there are games that are good that deserve support. If it's bad, don't play it. And if it's bad to you, don't play it, but don't cry about it online. That's all. Thanks for watching. Behave yourself.